Space.
Ayu, 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 John Madden, John Madden, John Madden, John Madden, John Madden, John Madden.
Ground control to Major Tom.
I wish goddamn, I wish I watched the rest of that Moonbase alpha video.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, it was that one from like maybe 10 years ago where they're playing that moon simulator game on Steam, but they're using the voice to text to say things like Ayu, 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 John Madden, John Madden, John Madden, John Madden, John Madden, John Madden, John Madden.
Ah, so that's what that is. Okay.
It was from a more simpler time in the internet. You know? When we knew that we thought the greatest guitar player of all time was Jimi Hendrix. But now we know that the greatest guitar player who ever lived is actually, well, we'll get to it.
Alright. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Foxx and the Mage Podcast.
I'm the Fox.
And I'm the Mage.
Sorry, and I have something in my throat. But today we are doing episode 9 of our podcast. And
episode 8.
Yes, you're right. Episode 8. I got lost and confused because we were traveling through time as we were traveling through space, because the theme of this episode is space.
The Foxx and the Mage in space.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, so chose this theme because by the time this episode comes out, it will be July 20th anniversary of the moon landing.
The first human beings to step on the moon. Objectively, one of the coolest things humans have ever did. Shout out Buzz Aldrin. Shout out Neil Armstrong. Shout out Michael Collins. Nobody remembers that guy, but he was important too. Just because he didn't have a cool name.
Also, Buzz Aldrin is a certified badass who will punch out moon landing deniers.
That is, again, like, that's one of the most satisfying things of all time. Is just watching somebody who's wrong get like a Sonic the Hedgehog character.
Yeah. Like, I'm not even an advocate for violence, and I still find that funny.
It's just, sometimes it's just an amusing thing. You know, the world is full of whimsy.
Yeah.
And sometimes the whimsy involves an old Republican being violent.
Especially given how much we're seeing more and more moon deniers, and just anti-science people in general. We need more Buzz Aldrins.
We do. We need more Buzz Aldrins and less of the people Buzz Aldrin endorses for Congress.
Yeah, I haven't paid attention to that because I don't care.
No, he endorsed Dan Crenshaw in a primary, and I think that's maybe it. But I'm making fun of him for it because he is from my state and he's annoying. So, but anyway, let's get over to the albums of this episode. We will be talking about Carpe Diem, Moonman by Psychedelic Porn Crumpets.
And Ziltoid the Omniscient by Devin Townsend.
And these two albums are... Honestly, this kind of might be like the avant-garde metal episode part 2.
Oh, yes. I do know Crow was into Devin Townsend, but I did find this album without Crow's assistance.
I found... out about this is the first Devin Townsend album that I actually listened to, and I remember some of these songs from when Crow did her video on the the Devin Townsend songs, but because I don't know Devin Townsend, I have not retained any of that video because it was just a bunch of information presented to me at once.
This is the only album of his I've heard in full, but there's a few others on my list.
Yeah, they're definitely an artist that I want to put in some more effort into learning, because it seems like he's a very eclectic guy who has a lot of different sounds and different palettes under his belt.
Yeah.
So I guess, do you want to start with Devin Townsend?
I think we should start with the PPC album, because I feel like the Ziltoid album will have quite a bit to talk about.
All right. I feel like I have about equal to say for both albums, but no, let's go into it.
Alright. So, Carpe Diem Moonman. So this album came out this year. This is actually the first PPC album I've heard in full. I'm pretty sure I've heard an individual song from before. Maybe? I don't remember.
Yeah, I've been a PPC fan for a few years now, so this is probably like the fourth album of theirs that I've heard, and it's been getting a lot of positive reception compared to kind of PPC's normal muted like cult fan base. This one seems to have broken through containment, and people are responding to it positively, which I find interesting, because I do many things.
Yeah, well, all I can say right off the bat is that I want to live in this album.
Yeah, it's a very colorful world that's created, even more so than like Shiga, the Sunlight Mound. It's very colorful. It's very psychedelic. Not a lot of porn that I know of, although maybe if you watch the music videos, yeah. And Crumpets. This band is Australian, so don't really associate them with crumpet culture. But there's plenty of psychedelia to make up for the rest of it.
Well, a crumpet in one hand.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, it is hella psychedelic. Yeah, you're right.
Want to start off with the first track, Another Reincarnation.
Yes, I do like that this album just starts.
Yeah, right away. Just
yeah, it's like the album is just inviting me in immediately. It's like, we're just gonna cut to the bullshit. You hopping in or what, loser?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
like get in, loser. We're going to the stars.
Get in, loser. We're going to the moon, and we're gonna riff on our guitars while we do it. Yeah, so many of the riffs on this album are just loud, fast, chunky, and some of them like intricate too.
Yeah, it's honestly, I'd say it's kind of math rocky at times.
There's a big math rock influence on a lot of this album for sure, and I can say that more so than a lot of their past albums. I know the first two were kind of like mathy and King Gizzard worship. Then their next three albums were a little bit their own style, and this one seems to be ambitious with its riffs, and a lot of them are, yeah, like very, they're heady almost. It kind of reminds me of Fall of Troy in some places.
I hear that. This might be an obscure one, but it's also, I'd say, if I had to make a comparison, it'd be Dispirited Spirits.
Ooh, Dispirited Spirits. Not too familiar with them.
They're another like space rocky band, but they're more like toward on the emo side of things. But they're really cool.
Ooh, interesting. Dispirited Spirits. Got it.
Dispirited Spirits.
Dispirited Spirits.
Yeah. Another reincarnation. Yeah, it's like I'm being invited, but I'm being invited with a gun to my head. Is what I would say, because of how hectic it is.
Yeah, this album, we cannot stress enough. It does just start right in the middle of the song. There's no warm up. There's no lead in, and it's a 2.5 minutes, so it's pretty brief. But it does let you know right away the type of ride you're in for.
Yeah, and I appreciate that about it. It's one hell of an opening. It rips hard, and it also leads very well into the next song, which is apparently the single, March On for Pax Ramona. I know it's supposed to be Pax Ramona, but it's spelled Ramona.
Yeah, but that is confusing, but psychedelic, maybe. But yeah, this one was the big single, and I think right away, the comparison I saw a lot of people make was that the song sounds a little bit like Chop Suey by System of a Down.
I don't hear it.
Or maybe not like Chop, but like it's on like the 2/4 riffs, like like it's kind of repetitive, chunky, like, and there's a lot of like alt metal influence onto it. And then you also get those spoken word sections in the verses.
Oh yes, I fucking love when singers just ramble about whatever the fuck. So yeah, this hooked me immediately.
Yeah, and I know he did say that this band was Australian, but I guess that this song was the first time I realized that the lead singer actually grew up in the United Kingdom. Something that does come up on a later song, but yeah, it is some good old-fashioned British rambling.
Yeah, British rambling is the best kind of rambling. Like, it really.
And I think this song is either about being in the time of ancient Rome and the kind of societal forces guiding people toward being in the military, or about kind of modern day cosplayers who are like fixated on the past as like the Return guys. Return with a V.
I definitely picked up on the former, but I feel like that would make sense if it's also tying into the latter, because a lot of these guys do like to romanticize ancient Rome, but these people always see themselves as the Roman soldiers. They never see themselves as the barbarians that they were going after.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big kind of just weird cognitive thing people have, because they just think of the past as like not something that actually happened, but as something that like a story that we're told and to aspire to almost.
Yeah, it's like I know this is like fascism was founded upon imperialist Rome's way of living, upon their government. So there is a direct tie there.
Yeah, and a lot of the album is, and honestly, a lot of for a band with a name as silly as Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, I will say, they can have some of the most bleak and depressing songs lyrically I've ever heard. Whether it's about kind of dealing with personal issues such as addiction or trauma, or big societal problems like this. And this album seems to be a little bit more outward looking with its issues.
It seemed more lighthearted than that. That's what I was able to gather from it, though. Maybe not this song, though.
It is kind of it's a weird balance, though, because this the aesthetic of the band is pretty clear. It's this loud, flashy metal with big psychedelic influences, but then I don't know, a lot of the lyrics to their song, and this is like the band in general, not necessarily this song, which is a banger. It goes hard. You listen to it on the treadmill, you get in 5 miles in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, it really is a banger. I love the mathy riffage and also the spacey synth tones that accent this song. They really do make for one hell of a single for this, to introduce what is apparently a new era for this band, based on what you said.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's a new era for them, man. I would like to kind of see more albums in this direction.
Yeah, I do say this as someone who is as a huge astronomy geek. I have been once since I was 7.
Uh-huh. Hey.
Yeah, it's so mathy, they named the next song Quick Math.
Yeah, that way you know. Math. The math is important.
Math's good.
And this song sounded... have you ever heard of a band called Covet from Japan?
I have not.
They kind of sound like this. They're one of those Japanese math rock / math pop. Or I know, I guess more math rock, but it's like very gentle math rock. It's like guitars and like lush strings and stuff. It kind of reminded me of that because after like 2 pretty hard songs, we get the first mellow track on the album.
Yeah, it's still very mathy though, but like, it is the mellow side of that. Yeah, it's lovely.
And I'm pretty sure the lyrics are like a lot of these lyrics can be a bit. Some of the lyrics on this song are poetic. I'm pretty sure this is about wanting to be recognized for your achievements in life and then fucking off into the ether.
That honestly, that sounds like the kind of thing I would aspire to. Like, I just want to do my thing, and then I just want to fuck off forever.
Yeah, want to climb Everest and then leave a note saying, "I made it."
Don't take that in a nihilistic or suicidal way, by the way.
Yeah, and I'm sure this band doesn't mean it in a nihilistic or suicidal way, either, or at least not with a kind of production this gentle and delicate. It really does feel like kind of honest and confessional in a way that I appreciate.
Yeah, it's a nice little cool down. Then Weird World Awoke came on, and my first immediate thought was, yay, more rambling.
Well, this is another song with the rambles, and another song that goes hard.
Yeah, but this one it is definitely more somber. I got the theme of just about all these old legends in rock that we've mythologized by now, all being either dead or close to dead.
Yeah, and then like kind of being from a younger generation who's like, justifying yourself based on the actions of some of these role models, and then realizing that, older people might not have all the answers just because we don't have the answers ourselves.
Yeah, like they were totally just figuring things out too.
I love that one line about the older generation fought Prohibition, World War I, World War II, possibly World War III. So don't get mad at them if they have 15 drinks a night. Let them have it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like it kind of puts the heavy drug use among the old guard into some context there, I feel.
And like these the kind of every generation having their own these things that drive substance abuse, which is prevalent in all societies across all time, and these things that cause it, choosing alcohol to cope instead of therapy or peace.
Yeah, it's like that. Like the hippies were protesting the Vietnam War, but the heavy usage of LSD at the time had to have been a fact. Had to have been partially an escape from the Vietnam War and just the constant news about it.
Oh, absolutely. Which, of course, and that LSD culture does bring forth the psychedelia music movement, which eventually merges into this band.
Yeah,
along with every other psychedelic act.
There was a through line the entire time.
I love the way the guitars sounds on the chorus. The effects they do to make everything sound like kind of spacey, but also apocalyptic almost.
Oh yeah, those are my 2 favorite words to put together.
And then I really love that bridge that gets mellow and then just starts to build and build and build and build, and then it goes into the last chorus and then the breakdown after that. It's all right.
Definitely one of the best songs on the album, but I'm actually not even done yet. I noticed the line about alien invasions. Do you think Ziltoid's invading in this song?
Oh shit! Crossover special? Maybe.
A PPC and Devin Townsend crossover would go hard.
Shake hands emoji. Using space as a metaphor for personal demons, but also because space kicks ass and is cool.
Yes.
Type of thing. Yeah. And I'm gonna spoil this song in particular. Might be like if I it could be my top 10 songs of the entire year.
This is not my favorite song in the album. We'll get there.
Ooh. Well, there are many other options it could be.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I also liked and there's a line about looking up to the stars. Yeah, but like it seemed like I was saying like you can look up to the stars all you want, but that's not going to get us out of the mess we're in right now. Like you just gotta look inward.
Yeah, it is. And the line specifically, why do you take it for granted? Why do you pull it apart? Maybe it isn't as straightforward as finding your answers by looking to the stars. And it is, like this, just like tying to the themes of the song about kind of feeling lost and aimless and kind of looking, again, to your answers elsewhere, whether it's the stars or in the experience of the older generation who we just assume had their shit together.
Yeah, those stars. Rock stars.
Damn, I just got that. I've listened to this song like 50 times and I just got that.
I just got that too, actually. We both had this breakthrough on Alive.
And you witnessed it. Here, and that's why you give us the big thumbs up on the YouTube.
Yes. Don't forget to like and subscribe, by the way. I've always wanted to say that.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. And smash that subscribe button. And smash that like button even harder.
We're just in before we put red circles in a thumbnail.
Yeah, red circles going to be pointing to the little moon in the Moonman album saying, what did he know? What does he know? Woo. Anyway. We're Weird World Awoke. Tongue twister, but I love it.
I do too.
All right, and then
I also love as the hummingbird hovers.
Yeah, psychedelia in my porn crumpets, it's more likely than you think.
No.
Yeah, this was one of the another one of the mellow tracks. It is very chill and psychedelic, and like I can't like stress like a lot of the past 3 albums from this band have been mostly like heavy riffs or some kind of lighter, mellower songs, but this one is like kind of a like it's more psychedelic in a way than I'm used to for this band. Although I'm sure they've done it before. I'm just bad at remembering.
This is definitely the chillest song up to this point in the album, and I absolutely would like to swim in this sound.
And how it is gorgeous. It's lush, it's mellow. I love the lyrics about, I'm not sure, I think it's just about like trying to find peace or contentment in a partner or something. Probably about drugs. But
this one was harder for me to pick up on lyrical themes than some of the others.
Yeah, it is pretty because like the big conceit of the title is come my dear, you and I, floating as the hummingbird hovers, all the world is yours and mine, everything you can see is ours. Not something obvious to take away from that, but I'm sure it made sense to the songwriters, and they definitely make it sound grand and like kind of pretty.
Yeah, like I don't need psychedelic music doesn't need to be clear in its lyrics to me. I feel like that is part of the appeal.
Yeah, and this band and on this album they're not really shying away from kind of just being vague and then kind of letting the vibe do the work. But then, they do have like songs like Weird World Awoke that are incredibly direct. But this one is like a nice, again, a wonderful cool down.
Yeah. and that ends side A of the album.
And now we move on to side B, which begins with Scapegoat.
Scapegoat.
Alternative dancer.
It does feel like the album warming back up. Like it's not immediately throwing you back into the mathy hardcore riffs, but like it is definitely it is picking up the pace a bit. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like literally, it's getting faster again.
Definitely, that sounds to me like an alternative dance song. Like it is with like the drums, and it's like kind of pushing you forward. There is more of a momentum to it.
Yeah. What lyrical themes I was able to pick up on? I was big on the fear of not living to see a world in the future, in the near future. I guess that's where the bleakness comes in.
Yeah, I definitely got a lot of kind of apocalyptic thinking concerning, but also the feeling that you are not in control of your own life, and ultimately we can make plans all we want, but they don't really matter because life could at any moment throw a wrench in the works.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. And I also noticed the theme of what it's like to come back to this harsh world after a temporary escape.
Yeah,
it can be a rude awakening sometimes.
Temporary escapes such as drugs. Interesting. Yeah, it's funny. Like I've never seen a psychedelic band like write this many songs about like substance addiction. It is like a nice little subversion of expectations, I guess. And they do write like songs with these topics with a lot of depth and personality.
And it also depends on what you consider psychedelic. Cause I feel like you could consider Red Hot Chili Peppers psychedelic.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really feel as strongly about this song as as pretty much anything else up to this point, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it, but I wouldn't call it a favorite because.
You know what I would?
Oh, you go.
You know what I would call my favorite though?
Ooh, the favorite.
The next song, Incubator V2000.
The V2000 Incubator.
Yes, this riff is so dirty, and I mean that in the best way possible.
Yeah, it is like I love these kind of chunky riffs that like kind of go like perfectly on like the eighth note, but they have like that distinct rhythm about them. Yeah, it's just catchy.
Like this wouldn't sound out of place coming from Queens of the Stone Age.
Ooh, it does sound very. Yeah, like I could see this being on something like Era Vulgaris.
Yeah.
From the later era.
It just rips so hard. I like. This is legitimately one of my favorite songs of the year.
Oh, fuck yeah. Woo!
Like,
love that Van Allen belt reference.
Oh yeah, same.
I actually just like was reading about I was like watching an old episode of Naked Science on Pluto TV, which was this documentary show from the Discovery Channel back in the 90s, and they were talking about the Van Allen belts and like the Earth's magnetic field and like magnetic polar irregularities. So, that, and like I had heard this album before doing that, watching that episode, but it was nice to. So that's what the Van Allen belt is. I forgot about it during science class.
Yeah, I kind of forgot all about it too until this. So, I guess my interest in astronomy is definitely more about planets and stars, just I guess formations. I would say.
I mean, there are so many of them out there. Like, damn, yeah. Alpha Centauri? That's the closest one, and it's so far away.
Proxima Centauri is the closest one.
Got it.
Yeah.
I misread a bottle cap label when I was 12.
And I've definitely misread stuff too. But yeah. This one also felt more vibes based than a lot of the other songs of the albums, but I don't really care. This vibe absolutely has me hooked.
Yeah, this is another where it's not entirely clear what it's about, but yeah, the vibe is good, and it's definitely got personality. And that line about the Van Allen is renting on the Van Allen belt till the empty glass in the morning sun, 5 a.m. and the birds will chirp. It's around about this time I close my eyes and feedle back into the analog dream and feel the warmth wash over. So, he's got problems. He's working on them. It happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that leads into Winter in Parachutes.
Another one of the more mellow tracks.
Yeah, you definitely need a track like this after the last song.
And it's nice. I liked it. I thought it was pretty, but I also didn't think it was super memorable compared to the other mellower tracks on the album.
Yeah, I'm definitely not as hot on it either. I'd more appreciate its place in the album rather than I would go back to it by itself.
Yeah, yes, same. It's a good cool down, and it's another. The vibe is a bit hard, or rather, the meaning is hard to parse out from the lyrics, but the vibe is about something we've already seen before.
Yeah,
I think, and I don't have too much to say about it.
I don't either, but I do like Out the Universe Pours though.
Yeah, I like that one a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this one. Just really goes deep into the trippy imagery.
Yeah, the lyrics about flickering lights and couches and the pilot light of the universe. It is very I guess of all the lyrics that are kind of vibe based, these are the ones that are the most in depth.
Definitely. And I also liked how the second chorus opened up with just that blast of noise.
Cool. It is a good noise blast.
Yeah.
Cannot deny the quality of that blast.
And then we have the grand finale, the longest song on the album, Concrete and Cola.
Concrete and Cola. Which I assume... the story of the United Kingdom, I guess.
Yeah, this album...
Sorry, I was coughing. You go.
This song is... this song just makes me feel happy when I listen to it.
Yeah, it is such a pleasant... Yeah, probably the most pleasant sounding song on the album. And I think it's a pretty good closer. I do kind of wish we gotten like maybe one more heavy song in the last third of this, but I do think that as like a kind of breezy psychedelic outro, it does it really well. And I'm pretty sure this is like kind of nostalgic reflections about growing up in kind of a shitty English town, and then reminiscing about concrete and cola, which I imagine we had plenty of in like shitty English towns.
Yeah, that seems like it would be a regular experience.
They do love concrete, and they love soda.
Yeah, I could just... when I listened to this song, it just felt like all my troubles were just melting away, and I was drifting into the eternal void. Just drifting through nebulae.
The beautiful, beautiful nebulae.
Yeah. Space is so cool.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Also, this song is catchy as hell.
It is pretty catchy. I do hum that chorus to myself a lot of the time. And it is just, yeah, I mean, it's good. I feel like there's like only so many ways that you can say that listening to an album or like songs on an album invokes like positive feelings, but they really do a bang up job on this one. This might be my favorite of the mellower songs, just because it does like reach for something a bit more ambitious, and I think it accomplishes it pretty well.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely my favorite of the mellow songs. Is it like this feels like you took late 2000s Animal Collective and then put them on a rocket ship.
I do, yeah, with you there. Big old, it's very spacey. Got that big old. Maybe Animal Collective should collab with them next. That'd be fun.
That would be so cool. I could see Panda Bear in particular doing it.
Mm-hmm. Panda Bear, so as could I. As could I.
Yeah, honestly, I think this album as a whole was probably my favorite discovery from doing this podcast so far.
Ooh.
I mean, my favorite individual song I've discovered is Creep You, but this is probably my favorite album from this so far.
Very nice. I am glad to hear that. It has definitely been one of my favorite albums of the year. And I feel like a lot of people have been saying it, but it seems like a lot of the great music of this year isn't particularly groundbreaking or save for like the hip hop stuff.
I still need to listen to the Clips album.
Then it is good. No spoilers, but I liked it a lot. But I am like a sucker for anything Pharrell touches, and I always have been, and I always will be. But that's also partially because I like those old Clips albums. So, but yeah, like in a year that does seem kind of underwhelming as far as like big, groundbreaking, game-changing projects. I mean, this isn't reinventing the wheel or anything, but it is very special. It is very unique, and yeah, it's something that I've been re-listening to a lot this year.
Yeah, even my album of the year, the Swans album, is kind of doing what they've been doing for a while, and they did say they were going to stop doing that after this album.
Well, let's see what they do next.
Yeah. But until then, it is time.
It is time.
It's time for Ziltoid the Omniscient.
Bow down, Earthlings, before your robot... No, he's not a robot. Bow down, Earthlings, before your alien overlord. Ziltoid has come in, and he wants your Colombian Arcadia beans now.
I am so omniscient. If there were to be two omnisciences, I would be both.
Did you ever watch Venture Brothers?
I watched it here and there when it was on as a kid.
I think I'm realizing watching this one or listening to this album that there was a character in Venture Brothers who I think his whole thing was supposed to be. He called himself omniscient, but he was just like observing people. I don't think it was like a reference to this except for him calling himself omniscient. But I don't know. Venture Brothers is full of weird references to things like prog music. So,
given the writing I've observed from that show, I wouldn't be surprised if someone on that team is a fan of Devin Townsend.
It's almost mathematically certain, I would say. Especially after listening to this album, like my first taste with Devin Townsend and getting a taste for what this artist is about.
Would you like to explain the concept of this album?
Yeah, so in summary, this album is a concept album about an alien named Ziltoid who comes to the planet Earth. He seeks out the perfect cup of coffee, and then when he doesn't get it, he accuses Earth of hiding all of our good coffee beans and then wages war on us.
Go off, Queen.
Yeah, what shitty coffee did he... There's so much good coffee he could get. He should have waited longer than 5 minutes. He should have just gone to, like, one of those like fancy grocery stores and then like gotten some nice beans there. Could have avoided all this.
Yeah, it's because they sent the wrong guy. Maybe they just shouldn't have sent the Starbucks waiter.
Yeah, or at least pay the Starbucks waiter more.
Yeah,
so that way it could have been more motivated.
Yeah, I don't think they accept alien currency. I think that's it.
Dang. Got to get some kind of exchange going up. Some kind of intergalactic currency exchange.
Yeah.
We're thinking through like long-term peace processes. This is peace stuff.
Yeah, sign me up to be an ambassador in the year 2069. I don't know.
Now that is sooner than we think. Let's be an ambassador to the Ziltoidian planet.
Yeah.
But anyway, should we get started?
Yes.
All right. Our very first track is the beginning, ZTO. Brief, but it does introduce the project and lets us know who Ziltoid is and what he is, which is omniscient.
He would like to tell you that he's omniscient.
He has come from far across the omniverse to sample because he wants the universe's ultimate cup of coffee. And we have 5 Earth minutes to make it perfect.
I would also like the perfect cup of coffee.
He does drink his coffee black, which I do respect, but I can't do that myself because my family I have bad acid reflux, so black coffee just kind of wreaks havoc on it.
So I like it sometimes.
If I was making Ziltoid's perfect cup of coffee, I would like fill it with sugar and cream, and he would probably hate it, and I would probably get the universe destroyed too.
Yeah, I guess if the perfect cup of coffee, if it's perfect, you wouldn't need to put anything in it.
That's true. Yeah. And there are some like good ass beans out there. I don't know if you ever have gone to like one of those grocery stores where they just have like so many different types of coffee beans. And you're like, I didn't even know they grew coffee in Honduras, but I guess they do. And it's here.
I have never had Honduran coffee beans before. I do know a cafe that maybe they'll have some. I might check that out next time I'm there.
We'll see. This album did kind of make me appreciate coffee more.
Oh yeah,
and
it'll do that.
Coffee can be very nice.
The moral of the story is drink your coffee right, or Ziltoid will come and invade your planet.
Woo! You don't want that to happen. Because he has alien technology. If they can come from across the stars to Earth, they have the power to fuck shit up on Earth.
Oh, yeah.
As we learn in the following track, By Your Command.
Oh, yes, by your command, my beloved.
Alright, now, I guess this would be our first proper song on here. And we definitely get a lot of... Yeah, I mean, this is a prog metal album. The cover looks like a comic book / B movie, and it pretty much delivers exactly what you're promised.
Yeah, prog and metal are some of the nerdiest genres in all of music. So making a nerdy concept album like this and making a prog metal is too perfect.
And how? Let's go back. And so yeah, this album, and well, the previous track did start by letting us know, or ended with letting us know that we had 5 minutes to make the ultimate cup of coffee, and sure enough, this song, which is 8 minutes long, has a 5-minute opening section, and then at the 5-minute mark, Ziltoid gets his coffee. I have it right here, sir. Fetid. How dare they present this to me? Foul. They hide their finest bean. Prepare the attack.
Yeah, I love that detail that happens 5 minutes into the song. That's a great touch.
That is like a... Yeah, because I was listening to it and I was wondering, oh, it's going to happen. Oh, yeah, 5 minutes. Nice. Somebody planned ahead when they were making the music.
Yeah.
And then because we delivered a fetid cup of coffee to Ziltoid the Omniscient, he's preparing up the Planet Smasher to get ready for invasions with Earth.
Planet Smasher sounds like something very lewd.
It certainly can be, and we'll get to it when we get to the song Planet Smasher. Goes into more detail about what it is. And that's kind of all of my thoughts on the song. It really does like deliver what you want to, and yeah, and like all the sections with Ziltoid are like very delightfully hammy. You can really get a hearty chuckle out of it while appreciating and enjoying some very nice technically performed metal.
Yeah, and I have said before that I tend to struggle with the technical side of metal, but something about this album, I think what helps me get into this album, well, okay, the concept helps, but also there are actual riffs here that I can latch on to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of catchiness going on, and I feel like I guess the only other prog metal band I've listened to like a lot of music from is Dream Theater. And like Dream Theater has their fair share of catchy songs, but they also have their share of songs that just are really hard to kind of sink your teeth into. And this album is like there's a lot of hooks to it, which I fuck with.
I would say in terms of prog metal, Tool kind of hits that perfect balance for me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I remember hearing Tool on the radio. That's probably the only prog metal band I would hear on FM radio like all the time.
It makes sense. Like they're basically playing they're playing alt metal riffs just in polyrhythms.
Yeah, like Schism is in a weird time signature, but that's like otherwise a conventional alt metal song, sort of.
Yeah. Exactly, and also they have good production, so that also helps me latch onto them more than other alt metal bands.
Oh, absolutely. That production is good.
But we're not here to shit on alt metal. We are here to get shat. We are here to get shat on by Ziltoid because we fed him fetid coffee.
And now we are going to be attacks. As we learn in the next song, Ziltoidia attacks.
Ziltoidia attacks.
And yeah, this one also goes hard. It's a bit of a shorter song at like 3 minutes 45, but it is it goes. And this is a song where he like starts the attack on Earth like fully.
And it sounds like it.
So Ziltoid attacks. Ships are in the sky. You know the reason why. Give us some coffee. Give us some coffee. Give it a whap bam boom.
Yeah, like this song just sounds badass.
It does. It really does. Like kind of straddle the line between like being goofy, but it's goofy, but it's not a joke.
Exactly.
And this is the song where we find out for sure who the greatest guitar player to have ever lived was. It's Ziltoid. Did you guess that? If so, you win Dairy Queen. We're not going to pay for it, but, go get yourself some.
What if Jimi Hendrix was reincarnated into Ziltoid?
Ooh. That would explain being the greatest guitar player to have ever lived.
Yeah. Oh,
want some coffee.
Hendrix.
What are we gonna do with you, Jimmy?
And laugh track.
You better believe it. Yeah, the song is also very catchy.
It is. It's that is guitar chugging, but like this is the kind of chugging I can get behind.
I got the impression that this is the song that is most commonly listened to out of context of the album.
That would make sense. It's one of the it's one of the shorter songs, but and it goes hard as fuck.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like made for to be released as a single, because you gotta have a single. But I fuck with it.
Same here.
Alright, moving on to the next track, Solar Winds, where we get a wrench thrown into the story. After being hailed as the ultimate fourth-dimensional guitar hero, Ziltoid felt confident in his complete victory. But Captain Spectacular, a new challenger approaching, sees through Ziltoid's facade and sets out to expose Ziltoid for what he really is. A nerd. And I'm not ashamed to say that I did kind of laugh a lot when I first heard that in the car. A nerd.
It's hilarious. I'd laugh out loud too.
Yeah, and so this song, we get the Captain Spectacular character, who is the foil to Ziltoid. He's gonna try and save Earth from his fiendish operations, conquering us. Just take our coffee.
The hero we need but don't deserve.
So this is like a kind of, or I do want to get into something that I did read about this album, because I read that one interpretation of this album is that it's a big extended metaphor for Devin Townsend's bipolar disorder, and that a lot of some of the lines about Ziltoid being a tyrant are kind of Devin talking about his own struggles. Now, that's not been confirmed by him to my understanding. I think that's more of a fan theory. So I guess if one did want to consider that as a possible interpretation, then I guess I'm not sure what Captain Spectacular makes that in the eyes of the metaphor, whether that's therapy or just kind of the general being good and doing well-being. Not sure.
I wouldn't know. I never looked into that.
I also think that it could also just be an album about an alien who likes coffee, and that there doesn't need to be an extended metaphor behind it.
Yeah, not everything needs to be not everything needs to be deep. Sometimes you just want to have fun.
Yeah, and it does. I don't know. It feels a little bit like kind of like the people who watch Kubrick movies and insist on hidden messages, but only a little bit like that. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with using sci-fi imagery to create a metaphor for human. I just don't think that's the case in this particular album.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound like it's about anything all that important in the grand scheme of things.
I know he also had an album where apparently part of the concept is that a guy is offered a cheeseburger that will grant him knowledge of everything in the universe, but he denies it because he's vegetarian.
A cruel twist of irony.
So I think it's easy to tell this guy is just writing pure comedy.
Yeah, that's kind of my vibe from it too, and from the narrative and the directions it goes in. It's just fun. Doing some fun.
I know he has serious projects, so this just isn't one of them.
Yeah. Not with that album cover.
Yeah, the puppet.
Not with that cup of coffee.
fetid coffee.
Fetid. What?
Fetid. I fucking love that word now.
It is a very great choice because it's like I don't hear it too much, but it would be a good way for like a megalomaniacal alien to describe something that displeases him.
Yeah.
And then Solar Winds. Musically, it's a bit more low key than the rest of the album so far. I really do like the way it builds up in the last 3 minutes. It kind of seems a bit boring at first, but then like at some point you listening to it and you realize, oh, it's been great this whole time.
Oh yeah, it sneaks up on you like actual solar winds.
And then at the end, it looks like Captain Spectacular was able to protect the Earth and putting all the humans in hyperdrive.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing the next song, Hyperdrive.
Ludicrous speed.
How ludicrous speed. So cold in the night.
What if Ludacris sampled that clip at some point? I feel like he has to have done that.
Yeah, it could have happened. If not, somebody should tell him about it, so that it would be something he should be made aware of. You know, he gave himself the name Ludicrous. That's a common word for situations that are ludicrous.
Yeah.
The next song, Hyperdrive, which I kind of put in my notes, or this was like in my notes for it. This is a Breaking Benjamin song. Oh, okay, wait, no, scratch that. It's Shoegaze, Coheed, and Cambria. I'm giving this a star.
Yeah, I definitely would not like it if it were a Breaking Benjamin song.
Yeah, it does feel a lot like that with the with like kind of the big whips. I don't know. It felt a little bit like some of the stuff from the aughts, but then it kind of musically shifts into something different. And
I mean, that's fair. This is from the aughts.
Yeah, it's shit sounded a lot like it did in 2007. But I think lyrically, I don't get too much of this song connecting to the overall story. It kind of sounds like a song about being lonely in hyperdrive.
That's what I've heard in general. Is that at this point, the narrative kind of gets more loose.
That is what I've noticed too, and it does kind of make some of the songs a bit harder to follow with a big thing. Although at the very end, you do get like a Ziltoid coming in by surprise.
It is a good in a way, because I do feel like I don't know how you would drag a straight narrative of this out for 53 minutes. Also, it is kind of in line with the tone of the album.
It definitely is in line, and I do get what you mean. That kind of stringing out a whole narrative out of, or like a whole like straight coherence like rock opera narrative can be a bit tricky for an album this long. Have you ever heard Petro Dragonic Apocalypse by King Gizzard?
I have not.
Yeah, that might be my favorite prog metal, maybe one of my favorite metal albums, period. And it also has this big, like, kind of singular narrative that's told fairly straightforwardly, but it also is like one of those things where just like kind of things are like constantly escalating and getting more hectic, and like it really like ups the ante every single song. And
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, as an experience, it's phenomenal. But, sometimes you don't want to up the ante for every single song. Sometimes that could be tricky.
Yeah, it's just the funny alien man. This is the funny alien man who wages war over coffee. It doesn't have to be... It's already starting off pretty silly.
Yeah, it's not like you can. It's not like there's so much to go from there.
Yeah.
And like the next song, N9, I kind of feel like is the weakest song on the album so far.
Yeah, I think I agree too.
I think it starts off pretty strong, but then it kind of just nothing really happens. Like the lyrics are pretty sparse. There's not a lot to them. It's a 5-minute song with just like 9 9 9 9. I don't know. There's not much I feel to say about this, but I guess with Ziltoid's rant at the end, I feel so vulnerable. You have not seen the last of me. You have not seen the last of Ziltoid. I guess he was supposed. Yeah, I guess he like still did not. Still didn't find those humans. I guess. Darn.
Rip. Yeah, Ziltoid will not get his vengeance this day.
Which is why he needs to load up something that can help him get vengeance. Or rather, a some who. Do you have anything else?
Planet Smasher.
You have
Planet Smasher.
You have
Planet Smasher.
You have anything else to say about N9?
No.
Alright, then we move on to Planet Smasher. Where I guess we find out that the Planet Smasher is not a what, it's a who.
Yes.
And he got awoken.
It is time.
I feel like a little bit of entertainment. Time to destroy the planets. So yeah, like on this one we get Ziltoid. He's bored, so he's gonna blow up a planet. Which I
do.
Which I guess I kind of, it's when people are saying that like it's a bipolar metaphor, I do kind of feel like, as someone with bipolar, the sense of, oh, I'm bored, so I'm going to do something incredibly destructive for no real reason because it entertains me. Nah, I guess that's a real thing. Maybe it's a Ziltoid himself as bipolar, and it's not, and it's just still about Ziltoid. Don't have to be about Devin.
Yeah.
Seems like something
it could be.
Spoiled alien overlord might do.
Yeah, because he's omniscient.
And
yep, he's so omniscient that he's two omnisciences.
If he was all the omnisciences, he would be both of them. I forgot what exactly that line was, but that also gave me a good reaction.
Yeah. And I don't like musicals.
This is a rock opera. It's different.
I also like that the song starts to fade out after he says that.
That was a nice detail. I liked. It does like fade out like in the middle of it. Musicals, shit's good. So yeah, I thought this was a pretty good song. A lot of nice energy to it. I like the themes. Again, it's very catchy. Yeah, like it's prog metal. It's kind of hard for me to describe it without like vocally mimicking the riffs, and I feel like I do too much of that already. So
yeah, that is yeah, I get that as someone who also struggles to talk about instrumental stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, shout out Herman, the Planet Smasher. He hates musicals just like us, so we're also going to talk more on the lyrics, I guess. So yeah, this song does kind of end with the I don't know. I guess like Ziltoid pisses off the Planet Smasher, and then the Planet Smasher doesn't want to blow up the planet because he's just like doing the Aku from Samurai Jack thing of like pissing off anybody who could be a potential ally.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I feel like Ziltoid and Aku would totally be a thing to witness.
Yeah, they got that kind of shared megalomania to them for certain.
Yeah. I could see them both laughing their asses off while also trying to kill each other in the most outlandish way possible.
Yeah, that would be a very like unstoppable force versus immovable object fight. You've got Aku's old demon magic. You've got Ziltoid's power of the electric guitar.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to beat. It's kind of hard to beat Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah. Curses. Maybe he could be the one to defeat Aku.
Maybe.
Maybe that was a secret. Samurai Jack should have just been about Jimi Hendrix.
Also, one
Sure,
thing
that's
I
a
forgot
clippings.
to mention
Yep.
is the line "Fooey, indeed Fooey" from a few songs ago. I keep seeing lyrics that say it's Fooey and double Fooey, and I'm confused about that.
Somebody needs a correction.
I wonder if there's like some versions of this album where he says that, and that's just not on streaming. I don't know. Or maybe he just says that live.
That could be possible. Yeah, somebody heard a live recording and then mix it in, and then a bunch of people like copied the one thing that like got messed up, and then still a little disinformation weed out there.
Yeah, double Fooey is funnier.
It is funny to think about. You want it to be true.
Yeah.
You really do. Anyway, the next song is called Omnidimensional Creator. And it's a short little interlude about Ziltoid going to meet the omnidimensional creator of everything, I guess.
So God is a surfer bro.
God is from Long Beach, California. He is blonde, and he has about 5 gallons of sunscreen in his garage.
Ew, long time no see, even though I see everything.
What's on your mind, bro? Modular forms and epileptic curves, infinite fire revolving around infinite parallels, fractals of infinite reality, each cascading, gliding in an infinite wheel. Tell me the true nature of my reality. Gotta chill, man.
I don't know what's funny. I don't know what I find funny. The idea of making God a surfer bro, or Oddworld Stranger's Wrath having their stand-in for Native Americans talk like surfer bros.
It is a funny thing to like put on, but it is the same kind of funny thing you would imagine an album about an alien who is so upset about being served a bad cup of coffee, he tries to enslave the Earth or humans.
Yeah, it's on brand.
Well, there are probably, statistically speaking, there are some Native Americans who are like Southern California surfer bros.
Yeah.
It's a big country. There's at least a couple.
True. Actually, I would not be surprised at all.
And so yeah, that's just like a brief little interlude. The next song, Color Your World, is not a brief interlude. It's about 9 minutes and 45 seconds, and it is a song.
Yeah.
It happens. I don't know. I didn't have like too much to say because I feel like musically we kind of like we've tread ground before on the rest of the album. Or rather, let me say, yeah, we've like kind of did these sounds before, and then narratively it is a bit hard for me to entirely get what I'm supposed to see from it.
Yeah. So that being said, there is a riff that comes in about midway through the song that I think is one of the best riffs on the entire album, and very hypnotic.
I think that is like kind of what I thought. Like the first, I thought kind of the first half of the album, or not that the first half of the song was a bit underwhelming, and then after minute 4, that riff, I think that part's pretty good, but then I don't think it like ends super well. I know that I'm a puppet. Apparently, I'm a puppet. Then you're a puppet, and we're all puppets.
Yeah, maybe that's what the omniscience is.
Ooh,
Maybe
probably
like,
puppet world.
I see it all, I see it all, I see it all.
In the end, so beautiful. You say you want to know. You say you want to take it down.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of people who really, really like this, but I do think that I don't know. Maybe if I was a little more into prog metal, I would have a little more patience for it. And I guess in narratively, it's supposed to be about Ziltoid kind of realizing his own faults and like his place in the world and like going kind of self-destructive, and that's what the puppet rant is about. But it is a bit like you gotta work for it again compared to the first half of this album, which was a lot more direct.
Yeah, I definitely did need all 9 minutes and 44 seconds of this. I will take that groove though.
It is a nice groove. I will give it that. That middle of the part of the song is very, very nice. And that leads us into the next track, The Greys. Which I really don't know what this song is about, but I gave it a star just because I think Devin Townsend's like his singing voice sounds the best on this song. Of all the tracks on the album. It's like very like unique but very nice. I don't know how exactly to describe it, but like it did enchant me, despite again not being sure like kind of thematically where this is supposed to go.
Yeah, it's kind of. I think it's probably my least favorite on the entire album, just because I genuinely don't know how this fits into the album at all.
Yeah, I think that this was actually the track that when I was listening to it for the first time, I did read about that fan theory that it's about his bipolar disorder, and it does make me like like it's definitely the strongest argument for it, because it is like, especially out of context, there is nothing connecting this to the Ziltoid idea. Maybe it is like being sung by Ziltoid, like the other songs were implied to have, but it does just kind of sound like a normal song. And I guess I liked it because it did sound pleasant, and I do think, I guess some of the themes, as the words get so loud, and when they start to tear you apart, you were right, you were always right, ready or not, here I come. As the grays flood our memory into long haul, can the grays wash away? But I guess the grays are like, I mean, they like the grays has been like a shorthand for like alien life for like about 70 years now. So maybe that's its tie to the thing, but it just kind of sounds like Devin talking about himself on this song.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Oh, I guess the alien thing would be kind of weird since Ziltoid is green.
Yeah, that is the other thing that confuses me. I'm like, yeah, these aren't like the grays from like the old like those old cartoon aliens from the 50s with like the big black eyes and like the short gray bodies, all Roger from American Dad. No, this is one of your more B-movie type aliens with all the big turned up collar, the big white eyes with pupils, thumbs.
Yeah. And also a puppet.
And he is a puppet. That is true. And so yeah, this is I guess this is like the penultimate song on the album, and it's like the last real song on the album, which I will say does feel kind of underwhelming that the last like real song doesn't super tie into the Ziltoid narrative in an obvious way. Again, I feel like there should be like a bigger finale than that, considering how hard so much of like as the first half of this album especially went.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely agree with that.
And so then that ties into the last track, a 1 minute and 4 second little ditty called Tall Latte. And it's on this one that we find out it was just a dream the whole time.
You know, normally I hate that trope.
And this one it is like, I guess I kind of saw it coming from a mile away because it seems like the kind of goofy thing they would do. And there is a bit of that, well, why isn't there, like, I guess especially with, like, Ziltoid wanting a black coffee and then this, like, being a skit making fun of people who go to Starbucks. There's a bit of, like, that old Dennis Leary joke about, why don't they have coffee-flavored coffee anymore? Well, I just want some coffee-flavored coffee. Which kind of lives in my head as, like, a good example of a dumb joke.
Yeah, normally I hate the it was all a dream trope, but, like, I don't mind it that much in a silly comedy, and it is very much silly comedy, so I'm fine with it here.
Yeah, it's, like, it's pretty brief, and it is a bit goofy, and it's, like, yeah, you know, like, a bored... And this also does kind of make me think that this is not about Devin Townsend's bipolar, because that is like a big narrative finale to it. It's just one guy who's like bored from having a shitty job at Starbucks and, you know, is fantasizing, daydreaming. It happens to all of us. And, you know, yeah, that's good. I don't mind it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then with that concludes Ziltoid the Omniscient, my first Devin Townsend album, and I did like it. There's a lot of good and interesting things about it. There's also a lot of things that I feel like if I was more into prog metal, I would have a lot of patience for. But I also felt like the second half was a bit more scattershot and not as focused as the first half, so that kind of made it a lopsided listening experience for me.
Yeah, I definitely do prefer the first half to the second half.
Then we are in agreement.
Yeah. So, I guess for that, I would say Psychedelic Porn Crumpets is like an 8 for me, maybe even a 9, actually, because I found myself really falling in love with this album.
Now, I definitely gave it an 8 when I first heard it, but it's I think it picked up to a 9 over repeated listens. So I'm going to call it a 9, and then I'll say Ziltoid the Omniscient. I'll call it a 7.
That's fair. I'd say Ziltoid's an 8.
An 8? Nice.
Definitely closer to 7 than 9, but yeah, I would say 8. Like, this is definitely the kind of prog metal I can get on board with.
It does make me want to check out his other stuff to see, because
Deconstruction is next on my list.
Deconstruction, good to know. Alright, and that would be our thoughts on these two space-themed albums. Happy moon landing anniversary, everybody.
Yep, and for our next episode, we have something interesting planned. We are taking a look at two albums that came out in the year 2010. When they came out, they were both very well received, and they were pretty big. But nowadays, they're not looked back on very fondly.
We are going 15 years back in the past to pop the bubble of all the young people nostalgizing about recession-era pop.
Yep, we are going to be talking about Eminem's Recovery.
And the Black Keys' Brothers.
Yep, my name is Mageclick.
My name is Foxx Navarro.
And happy moon landing anniversary.
And remember, Ziltoid is the greatest guitar player to have ever lived.
Ziltoid is just Jimi Hendrix in a green suit.
With a taste for black coffee.
Yes.
Like some kind of barbarian who doesn't like cream.
Well, clearly he liked cream. I know he liked Eric. I know he was friends with Eric Clapton.
Pretend we had a real soundboard and I did that. All right.
See ya.
See y'all.